What up, guys? Hope everything's going well. Alright, I didn't want to do this video, but I need to. And I'm going to label this NBA Top Shot and paid shills. Yup, a lot of people are not going to like this, just like they did not like my other video on NBA Top Shot and how it should be avoided like the plague. So, I was watching a few sports card channels. I follow these channels all day, while I'm, doing work. And at least two different channels stated that they were approached to do promotions for NBA Top Shot. I'm going at it from their word. And what they said was they both rejected working or doing promotional work on it. And, that got me thinking, okay, you have NBA Top Shot. It is going crazy. A lot of people are throwing their money at it. You see Draper Labs, it's been around. But, you're seeing NBA Top Shot having hundreds of millions of dollars of sales. And now the valuation overnight is $2 billion. Like, how does that happen? In my opinion, there is, that is not organic growth, in my opinion. And, my suspicion is, and, if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong. And I don't know which channels are out there, but it appears that some channels are being paid to promote this. And some of these channels are not disclosing that they're getting paid to promote this. And hopefully I'm wrong about this, but that's a huge conflict of interest. And, I trade a lot. I look at options. I look at the stock market. I used to look heavily into the futures markets. And, one big thing is conflict of interest. The SEC cracks down on it for the stock market and even the options market. And I'll tell you this one quick story. I had this one broker in Chicago. I'm not going to name the name. He then moved to Texas, but he still managed the firm. And he used to be on CNBC, Fox Business, some Canadian channel as well. I think Al Jazeera in the Mideast, or something like that. And he was talking about this one stock. And he was saying that I see big things about this stock. Well, guess what? He's in the futures market, and he's not allowed to, promote stocks. And the SEC actually cracked down on him and saw that he was getting paid to pump up the stock. He's not allowed to do that, talk about these stocks to begin with. But he's also being paid that he did not disclose, I believe, to Fox Business. And he ended up going to jail for about a few years. Or maybe he's 18 months. I don't remember. So, there's strict regulation in, one of the activities that I'm involved with, the stock market, the options market. And over here, there is some regulation. You need to have, a social security number, I believe. So they need to do, some sort of due diligence, just typical stuff that the Patriot Act wants companies to do when dealing with American citizens. They just want to make sure that, they're not engaged in money laundering and whatnot. And, yeah. So, the difference here is that people could be paid to say that, hey, get into NBA Top Shot. Get in, before it's way too late. And on the side, they may be paid to do so. Hopefully this is not the case, but let's think about it. How do you turn, a new product like this into a $2 million valuation? Basically within a few months. Some people may argue, okay, a bunch of us are locked down in our homes. We're going to the digital space now. This is the Internet 2.0. Remember the tech bubble, where people were throwing money in like no other. And, most people lost money. And but there were still some people that became millionaires. Mark Cuban became a multimillionaire because of that. Actually, I believe he's now a billionaire. But, people are saying the Federal Reserve's printing all this monopoly money. It's going into regular collectibles. It's going into digital collectibles. The NFT space is exploding. Okay, sounds well and good. But like I told you before, there were two individuals in the sports card arena on YouTube saying that they were approached and they declined. So this gets me thinking, okay, if you do a Google search on NBA Top Shot on YouTube and you see all these views out there promoting it, right? Nothing but praise. And now you have ESPN, you had, I think, an analyst or something like that. He opened NBA Top Shot pack and he got an $8,000 value from it. So, me coming from an accounting background, and, I used to do some auditing intern work over a decade ago. And, what they teach you is exhibit professional skepticism and also look for red flags. So, I'm just thinking like, okay, all of it doesn't make sense. Part of it makes sense why these values are going like crazy. But, it's a red flag that, this just popped out of nowhere. And, some people are saying they were approached to promote this stuff, but they rejected. And hopefully, those are the only two people that were approached. But now I'm thinking that's not the case. And I'm suspicious about this because there's nothing but praise about it. And there's herd mentality in terms of this type of, investing. I call it more like gambling. And, if you get a thrill, spending $99 to open a pack or how much you pay, and you're just doing it because you're stressed out, you had a rough day at work, or, you just want to, you see all this crazy stuff in the news, from the political landscape, and you're just doing it, for fun, that's great. But, there are people that think this is a get-rich scheme, which in the short term it can be, but in the long term it's not. There's something called the law of numbers and, reversion to the mean, a topic in the stock market and the futures market. And, eventually, the chickens will come home to roost, in my opinion. There will also be more competition. Just like the tech bubble, there were all sorts of companies that came out of it. And there was Google, right? Google wasn't even participating in that tech bubble in the 1990s. And it became the top, company in tech, or one of the top companies in tech. So, there's going to be more competition. There's UFC. Draper Labs, I believe, has a contract with UFC. In addition, what other sports are going to be involved in the digital landscape? I believe Rob Gronkowski is getting into this collectible arena. So, when I see, people investing in a herd mentality, that's when you know that you should not be involved in it if you're trying to make a buck for the long run. Maybe in the short run you can make money. It's also tied to crypto. Crypto, I believe, has a few good more years in it. But ultimately, the chickens will come home to roost. There will be a mean reversion in this market. And a lot of people are going to be burned, just like they were burned in the 1990s with the tech bubble. Just like a lot of people went bankrupt during the housing bubble. I'm not saying people are going to go bankrupt because of this. I think a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money in this, unless they were foolish enough to go into massive debt, going into, Top Shot or other NFTs. Or you could even say sports cards. There's a lot of irrational exuberance, but people tend to repeat the same habits that their parents did and their grandparents did before that. And, I'm going to talk about that in a different video. So, another red flag is, I see, former TikTok influencers, getting involved in NBA Top Shot. Okay, that just seems awfully shady. It seems awfully suspicious to me, And if I were to tell most people that are investors in the stock market about Top Shot, they would be very skeptical of this. And, I got on one of my buddies, Don, who called the silver market top a decade ago, who called a top in the stock market in 2006, 2007. He says this is crazy. And he has experience calling tops, calling manias. And, most, in my opinion, investors would probably not laugh at this, would say, avoid this. It's not a scam, but, it's something to be avoided. Doesn't mean that you can't make money, but most won't. And another thing to note is, I've been hearing reports that you can't withdraw more than $3,000. If that's wrong, let me know. Put in the comments, say how much you could withdraw per day. In the stock market industry, if I want to withdraw my money, I could withdraw all of it at once if I wanted to. If I told my broker I want to withdraw $20,000, they may ask, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? But ultimately, I could tell them I want my money. They have to give me my money. So, all these things seem a bit shady to me going on in Top Shot. I'm not saying they're breaking any rules or laws. And, there's obviously a contract you need to sign, before you get into this terms of agreement. But, it's not worth my risk tolerance. And, a lot of people are going to get involved in it. And I wish you the best of luck. However, if you look at history, more people are going to get hurt than they'll make money. Not everyone makes out like a bandit like Mark Cuban did during the 1990s, during the tech bull run. He made money before the tech bubble burst with broadcast.com, and that's not in existence anymore. So that's just food for thought. Hopefully, once again, no one's getting paid to promote this stuff. And if they are, hopefully, they're disclosing it, but I haven't seen it thus far. And if I'm wrong about this, let me know. Let me know what you think. Are people getting paid to promote this? Are they disclosing it? And, is this an ethical thing for them to do if they're not disclosing getting paid? All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.